Hello, welcome back to the Gamer's Tale. We're once again joined by Stephen, Josh, and our new associate, Four Names. Tonight we're going to be
Hello.
talking about DPS, both in weapons and RPGs and first-person shooters, because sometimes things just need to die, and we need to do it the most effective way possible, especially in video games. So
That's true.
the thing that made me think about this was a couple of adventures I had in video game land. In Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl, I have the big 45 caliber Desert Eagle as my primary sidearm. It
True.
does the highest amount of damage even when it's suppressed in the game. It can take out something with a single headshot. The only problem is that between shots, the sights go like 30 feet into the air, and then the follow-up shot for an aim shot is several seconds. So if you don't get the initial shot on the guy, you're going to be hosed between when you can get the next shot. So you either have to start shooting him in the dick and working your way up as it goes, or
That's
you
the
can
way
just
I
get,
always do it.
or you can get
I mean, what?
a smaller pistol that you can get all 12 shots off that are doing lower damage into
Wait,
the
we're
guy.
talking about video games, right?
Yes, we're talking about video
Oh, okay.
games.
Shoot the pelvic girdle.
hmm
That's one of the reasons why I had you guys on, because you deal with firearms in real life a lot more than I do. So I'm sure you guys would know about accuracy and
Give him
things
the
like
old
that.
PB&J,
Take shots.
penis, brain, and jaw.
Brain. Anyway, and the other thing is comparing LMGs in Battlefield 2. The 249 that the Americans use puts out a lot of much higher rate of fire than the RPK or RPKM that they have in there.
Yes.
But the
no.
RPKM, it does a lot more damage. It's like you can one-shot somebody with it. But the problem is that it seems like it takes a lot more effort to actually hit something with it if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I think that's like one of the things about Battlefield 2.
Hey, give me about 10 more minutes. I'll hop back on.
Okay. Yeah, that's one of the things about Battlefield 2. I mean, it's like realistic, rates of fire,
Mhm.
but like accuracy is like all over the place.
Yeah, the hitboxes are messed up too.
Yeah, hitboxes are messed up, so I mean it's kind of hard to determine. But the RPK does have a bigger bullet. I think it is the
It's the 54 Russian.
7.62 by 39.
RPK is 72 by 54R.
Or
There
is
we
it
go.
the PKM? PKM.
PKM would be the 72 by. I think that might also be 54R.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
54.
there's the souped up AK version that they have that does X39.
Yeah, that's what it was. So the PKM is the one that does the 7.62 by 54R.
Yes.
And the RPK is the one with the 7.62 by 39.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, they are bigger bullets, and they do
Bigger damage.
tons of damage. Yeah, it's a machine gun round, but in the distances covered by the light machine guns, like in real life, I mean it's effective enough.
Yeah, you kind of have to arc the rounds with the RPK, because you can set the front post on somebody and it won't hit. You can raise it up like maybe just above their head and you'll start getting hits. It's weird that way.
Yeah, there's like little quirks to the like aiming system, like for Battlefield 2. And there's sometimes like packet loss. So I mean, you could be shooting like point blank, but it might not like register as fast.
That
So I
reminds
mean,
me.
I mean like I think like for me it's like more luck than anything when it comes to like close range like CQB machine gun battles.
Yeah. The funny part is that sometimes you get like extremely lucky. I got like a 4 or 5 kill streak, which is pretty good for me. And even if that's all I do during the match, I got 3 knife kills and like 2 to 3 shotgun kills and a pistol kill before they finally took me down. But it's fun, but it's frustrating at the same time because the same thing that I was noticing with the damage output was that I can either host someone with one of the AKs or the M16s that they have there, and uh, or I can get like a really solid hit with a shotgun blast, and they'll both do roughly the same thing, but the distance for me to have the character pump the shotgun, then move on to the next target or have the follow up shot is much larger than just spraying 30 rounds at them continuously and moving between targets.
And that's what I kind of didn't like with like the machine guns and stuff like that, like or even regular guns like hipfire.
Mhm.
Hipfire is a lot. It's a lot more accurate than what the game shows. Like you're
Yeah,
telling me like 3 feet, you hold down the fire button, it's not gonna hit someone like 3 feet in front of you. It's a little bit unrealistic.
well, that's just because you've been playing with crappy ping.
Yeah, that's true. Also, that's also true. But
Because the
but
last 2 ones that I've been playing had pretty decent ping, and it's just been really nice. Which you should
oh,
have
that's
joined me on.
say again.
I said, which you should have joined me on.
Join you.
In
Oh, in game.
playing.
Right, right,
Yes,
right.
in
Okay, okay,
game.
okay.
Were you having a brain fart or something?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of like the servers like on there, it's like I'm getting like a over 100 ping, and that's kind of problematic. When we were doing like the ones that are like below 80, it was okay, but like quirks wise, the meta is a little bit weird,
Yeah.
for that. Um, but yeah, didn't like Jim Fuller like do something like with a PKM or RPK or something like that? Rifle Dynamics.
I thought there was something for that recently. But
Yes, January. So that's what it was. Jim's personal RPK. That is a thing of beauty.
it is, though. Speaking of going back to the DPS question, I found it very similar to Self and Fistful of Frags. I prefer the accurate yet fast firing Navy compared to all the other guns because I like to get the faster follow up shots and better speed shots than with some of the other ones where it's got a lot of heavy traction afterwards between shots. Though they've messed with that game a lot recently, like over the last couple of months. Everything is different, but they kind of brought the Navy back to its former glory
Oh, that's
because
nice.
they had nerfed it bad. But I don't play that as much as I should compared to the lever action gun that they have in the game, where it's like you can just kind of hose as fast as a lever action can play in that game. But there's more multi-shot heavy rifles than there used to be. And the thing of it is that sometimes it's just like, okay, I'm just gonna keep clipping away at a guy with the superior magazine count that I have with this lever action until he dies and the guy behind him dies, the guy after him dies as well. Compared to I have 6 shots, I can get 2 to 3 guys with 2 to 3 shots each, and then I have to take like 5 to 10 in-game seconds to reload.
Yeah, that's the reload is what really gets you. Because I mean, it's kind of like a Call of Duty style. Instead of
Mhm.
like when one person dies, they have to wait till everyone dies, and then there's a new round. It's just a like a constant spawning kind of deal.
Yeah.
So, they can spawn like in different parts of the map or like spawn super close to you.
Hmm.
And then, you could be reloading like, and you'd be fine if they spawn like across the map from you. But if they spawn like really close to you, that's the
I
luck of
will.
the draw, and a lot of times you die from that.
When the game caused you to uh, drop all your guns and stuff, and they had more drops for guns in game, you would find me rocking like a pair of navies, a coach gun, and maybe even a third pistol, because it was just easier to fire off 18 shots or so with all of them and switch between the guns and then reload later if I survived that long than to try to shoot with one gun and then try to reload it frantically as people come around to try to end you.
Yeah, and
It's just
the
mechanics.
peacemaker was really good for that, like double peacemakers.
Oh yeah, those are nice. Though I haven't
Versus all
encountered the Halloween server anymore. They probably finally took it down. Which is sad.
I prefer like medium damage, like in most games, like medium damage, like weapons. Um,
All right, I'm back.
yeah.
Okay.
Welcome back, Ethan.
We're talking about medium damage compared to fast, low damage to slow, heavy damage.
And it really depends on the playstyles too of like your opponents, because like with you have high risk, high reward type of weapons, like for example, in Fistful of Frags, it's the Colt Walker, or like the Sharps rifle. Like
Those
one
actually
shot.
have low risk, low reward though, because of how easy it is to kill people with them. The higher risk ones are the use of the bow and the U.S. Navy, Colt Navy, because it's much harder to use those ones, and they have a much higher frag reward taking someone out than with the Walker, which is, despite the fact that it has 6 shots of center mass instant death, gets you like 3 to 4 frag
Like
points.
high risk in terms of like you dying, if you screw up, like if you screw up a shot, then then that's it for you. So,
Right.
like in Siege, they have the double-barreled over/under shotguns with slugs that are that are used by the Korean operators. So like if it's you could actually snipe with it, with a slug. I know it's kind of like not realistic, but
I don't know about that. You can reach out and touch somebody with a slug.
well, no,
Like,
I mean like some guys like that are really really good, that are like
yeah,
super steady in the head. They have like superhuman reflexes. They're able to outsnipe the sniper,
right.
the sniper class. So, and it's actually kind of humiliating if you get sniped from across the map.
Yeah, with a 1 ounce
Experience
piece
when I
of
was
lead.
playing Medal of Honor Warfighter.
Could you repeat that?
Are you still having some technical difficulties?
I just didn't hear what he said. All I got was Warfighter.
Yeah, Battle of Honor Warfighter. It was game came out like PS3 era, maybe like early PS4 ish.
Yeah, it was the last Medal of Honor one that I've ever heard of.
Yeah. Which honestly, like, I don't know, the way Call of Duty was doing all their stuff, it seemed like a good time for Medal of Honor to come back. But that's it.
Yeah. I wish they made something like as
The
fun as
whole thing with Medal of Honor, from what I have understood, the whole thing with Medal of Honor, EA has basically they completely screwed the pooch on that one. And it was a very, very good game. But
it's EA.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the best, like, as far as like EA marketing, and stuff like that. Warfinder was like really did really well from like a marketing standpoint. Especially because they use like social media really well. I know when like FPS Russia had his big, like when his channel was really big and he had all those followers, they had like a big thing on like they had FPS Russia on their thing, and they did like this whole well, it was like a whole game thing like leading up to the release of the game. Like, and it was like this big championship thing, and like, and it was like a really big internet deal at the time. It was called like the Controller or something like that. But I mean, like, I mean, it's good marketing by EA, but like not as good execution.
Well,
It's a decent game though. Like,
it seems to be the case today because we have the two extremes that we're seeing are we have Call of Duty where it's just a lot of fun, people go in, lots of squeakers, and unrealistic gameplay, and then we have not ultra realistic gameplay, but more realistic, challenging gameplay in Battlefield 1 with a bunch of the indie games doing the ultra realistic, higher powered battle royale kind of things.
Yeah. Which I mean, like, even like in Call of Duty and stuff like that, and especially talking about damage type stuff, it's just kind of the name of the game is like accurate damage. And I think like I used to play a lot of like Black Ops and stuff like that around there, and you know the original like the Modern Warfare games. I was like really into those, and then when I got like more into other games, I just wanted like as pretty much as high damage as I could get and a lot of accuracy. I can't play a sniper to save my life, but like if I'm playing a tank on something like Overwatch is a good representation of that. Like if I'm playing a tank, if I'm playing a Reinhardt or a Diva or something like that, I want a good like sniper. Like I want a good Hanzo, I want a good McCree or a good Widowmaker because they can just like kill stuff forever.
Right.
And I thought I usually do real well if somebody's able to like vantage point and destroy the entire map.
And you know, like it's a I think it's a function of like timing also, and the like the player skill, because with the high risk, high reward weapons, you know, like the shotgun or you know like the snipers, well, it depends on your skill too. But what I'm trying to say is that you know if the skill of the enemy players are like less, you know, they make more mistakes, which allows you to, you know, capitalize on those mistakes.
Yeah,
once you do
exactly.
That, you know.
Yeah.
Versus,
exactly, especially
you know,
if you can make them aggravated.
Yeah.
The power of salt.
And you know that's like you know that's what you know the ideal weapon is, you know, for that type of situation. But you get really good players, you know like it seems like when I play like Siege, Rainbow Six Siege, like I use like spray, I spray more, you know, versus you know like very controlled shots.
Right.
The one taps, the two taps.
It's funny, like yeah, like you know, kind of spraying the area versus like you know really aiming your shots and digging in there.
Yeah.
You know, I know, like when I played Siege, it would vary from person to person. Like if I had somebody who was a shotgunner, it was like all my shots were like super precise. Like everything was like a head or upper chest shot. Like that was my digs. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like even if I was taking a longer shot where I knew it like wouldn't do anything but like hurt, it was still like I want like the neck face area because I want to just coat them. But when I had something like an AUG or just like an assault type rifle, it was really more like just put everything in their general area and then take a really precise shot if I'm given one.
Yes, and that's what I like about like a lot of the rifles, is that they're high damage, so their damage per shot, you know, as opposed to the damage per second, like their damage per shot, it's really high.
Yeah,
and
that's why
it's more forgiving.
Yeah, like I play there's a character on Overwatch. I play a decent amount of it, and his name's Junkrat, and basically what he has is like a It's just he just runs with a grenade launcher and blows everything up, and he carries mines, and you can set them off remotely. So like he carries
it's
remote
basically an
detonation
AoE,
mines.
right?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, so I will go like, and people playing like really far back, and like they treat it like, oh man, if anybody sees me anytime during the game, it's just like it's bad. Like that's exactly what I don't want. So like be launching over buildings and stuff, and like wait till they find a hit marker, and then like keep launching there until they stop getting a hit marker. And I'm just like super aggressive, and in everybody's face, I'm like using my and it really works for me because it's a like really high damage, and and you can use it fairly accurately, and I can also like basically suppress an area if I need to.
Right.
So
The
like
area
hallways
denial
especially.
it's
Yeah.
so useful.
Yeah, like a hallway especially, because basically if you get in a hallway with me, I'm just gonna like fill the hallway with mines and with like grenades and stuff, and there's nothing you can really do but like die.
Right.
So I can suppress a hallway by myself while somebody takes a pointer. I can suppress a hallway where I know somebody's coming through, and
lovely
it might
little,
give them enough time to move the payload a little further, stuff like that. And it's really So I think a lot of it is like people's play styles, because I'll use like he's a really high damage character, and I also use him very aggressively, and it's throws people off.
That reminds me of when I used to play War Thunder religiously. I would use the long range cannons at close range because they could go through literally feet of armor when it hits at a 45-degree angle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, fine, you have a crap load of armor. I've just got to run to where your back is and blown a hole through your entire crew with an explosive shell.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter that you have a bunch of armor, but I've done a lot of damage in a short amount of time.
Like, I suck so much at snipers. Seriously, but in Black Ops, like the original Black Ops, I did for like a pretty good while. I ran around with a bolt-action sniper rifle and never aimed the thing at all. I literally fired from the hip and would just kill people with it.
You know what that gets me are those guys that do this quick scope. I never
could get it.
Yeah,
I was like, I get the basics of it is like if your hip fire crosshair, if they're inside of it and you hit your scope, it'll automatically snap onto it. But man, I would get way more kills, like 5 or 10 more kills usually, if I was hip firing at people than if I aimed in.
I experienced the same thing when I played a little bit more with my cousin. My brother and I had been used to playing Medal of Honor, where when you aim, you immediately stop. So we just get used to running around hosing the place accurately. And instead of firing while aimed in, we would just continually slaughter my cousin because at first we wouldn't aim. Then we started to aim, then we started to die.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just being used to mechanics and stuff. Like,
yeah, that's where like the game programming and how well a game is made like goes into account. Because I hate it like when like players can just meta that thing. Like, oh, I'll do this and then I'll get kills. The most kills this way.
Yeah.
Versus having to use like real sights.
Yeah.
Real sights. You mean iron sights?
Yeah, like iron sights, and like aim down the iron sights. Or
I love doing that in BF2 with the pistol and getting kills at like 30, 40 feet. I think it confuses them when I start shooting at them from across the map with this pistol.
In Call of Duty, when I would play hardcore, literally, like, my loadout for that is just a pistol. That's it. And it is, dude, I get so many kills. I get more kills with a pistol than I do with a rifle because your time to find your sights is faster.
Right. Yeah, that's
so even with
that's kind of realistic.
Like what is it, like grip or whatever, like where you like aim down your sights faster, it's still faster with a pistol than it is with the rifle. And you can use grip on the pistol, so you can really just snap on your sights, bang, 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 and they're dead usually in 2 or 3 shots. It's And I think it really made people mad, and only a handful of dudes figured that out. But like, so like my loadout for like Black Ops 3 when I was playing that, it was a pistol with a red dot. And
That's
that was
pretty
it.
much future
I love
strike.
that.
Yeah, yeah, like
It's like that in
And-
it's like that in Siege too. You know, they
Yeah.
have like 2 pistols with a red dot on it, and it really helps.
mhm.
Like, you know, like the P226 sights are like super clunky, you know,
They
versus
are.
the red dot, you know, in comparison. So it kind of translates like that in real life, and like the operators that use it on Siege, there's only 2 of them.
You're gonna
but,
say something, Garrett? Your 4 names.
Yeah. I was going to say, there's this game I've been playing lately, World of Warships, and this one ship that I have is a German cruiser called a Scharnhorst, and that thing is a freaking laser. You can literally aim the guns at the other end of the map and hit your target.
Nice.
I think the most kills I got on the Scharnhorst, 5 kills or ship sunk, and that was me on a good day. That was actually my best game.
Man,
After that, I just went downhill.
that's not bad. I will say, like, for as far as video games and stuff goes, I'm definitely an optics. Like anytime I'm playing a first person shooter, like, and I have the ability to aim in, I always want an optic on it because there's never the guesswork of like, you know, like when you're using iron sights in games. Iron sights in real life, you know, you line up your iron sights and then you basically put the top of your front sight on wherever you want to hit, and it'll hit in line with the top of that sight. And that's like how they work. But I've noticed like some games, it'll aim like just above that. Like, so I'll miss a headshot or something, like hit them in the neck, and that's annoying. Or it'll be like you have to aim with the front post itself, like with the whole sight, and you just put like the whole sight on whatever you want to hit. And it's really like like for me, it's counterintuitive because I'm used to using iron sights and stuff like that. But it's also like, man, so using an optic for me, it's just like put the dot on the thing and pull the trigger. Like I never have to do the guesswork. Yeah,
I love that, man.
I'm pretty sure with Siege, it's top of the sight too because they did a really good job at making it pretty realistic as far as shooting and weapons manipulations and stuff goes.
Yeah, they made all the like recoil go down, so it's like pretty stupid, like in terms of like how little recoil there is. So a lot of people have been using more pistols now.
Yeah. Which there's always like that feeling that you get when you've been killed with a pistol, like you just kind of feel like you need to put your head in your hands.
Yeah. Or a knife.
Or a knife, yeah.
I was playing Battlefield 1 on I was playing Battlefield 1 on multiplayer, and I had a Lee Enfield, some LE Mark IIIs, bridge, just sniping these guys. I get shot from somebody with what was it? Was it a room handle? I think it was a room handle Mauser.
Oof.
And he shot me from behind, and I'm just like, "Are you serious?"
I probably would have shoveled you.
I would have been like, I was having a good aim. I had just got the infield too, and I was in love with the thing.
Oh, dude.
And then I just got killed by a guy.
That's a man caliber. That's what that is.
Yep.
Old school
World
War II rifles, World War I rifles.
Yeah.
I would have been a
killed with like a 7. What is that? What the broom handle Mauser, it shot like what, a 7.65 or something like that?
Yeah, 7.65, 39.
No, not 39. It would have been smaller than that. 25 or something like that. But
yeah.
I can look it up for you real fast.
C96 Mauser shot a let's see. Major variants. Let's do the
so I know they made a model that shot 9mm.
They did have a 9mm.
The Luger was the one that shot the 9mm.
Well, the broom handle Mauser had a variant that shot 9mm. Generally, those were also able to do full auto fire. They had a big red 9 on the handle of them.
7.6
So they didn't put
by
the wrong.
25. And then
Okay, so it was
7.65 by 21.
okay, so it was 7.62 Tokarov, but later on.
Yeah,
Yes.
it also came in 9mm.
Yeah. So Sniper gets taken out with a 7.62 by 25.
Sniper rifle. I had just the iron sight.
Nice.
If you watch like some like the YouTuber like streamers, like they'll get that red dot pistol and snipe people from like far away. The game mechanics for that game is that any kind of headshot, it's like an automatic death. So you know, like and the bullets go where the red dot is. Like if it's just like one taps. So
Yeah.
you know,
Nice.
people spawn peek or spawn kill, so they run out and then they shoot where you spawn. You know, it kind of sucks, but you
Yeah.
know, it's you know,
Well,
It's
that's
a
lame.
legitimate tactic.
it's a legitimate tactic. So I'm not
But it's also lame.
It's
Like-
lame.
It's like
Like, I'm just going to say it for sake of the podcast. If you spawn trap, your mom's a hoe.
Your mom's a hoe.
I'll leave
Don't
out
get me
that I
wrong,
try to kill all the snipers with the shotguns because I view it as the ultimate insult.
Yes. Dude, I knifed some snipers one time, but there were 3 of them and they were all camped. And, like, I ran
so
by.
fun.
Yeah, like, I literally, like, I ran by and there was the whatever the Claymore set. And I ran past it and it blew up behind me. And I was like, oh, dang, there must be somebody coming up there. So I just went up there and they were all out different windows. And it was like, knife, knife. And then I just waited behind the next one. And then he turned around and I knifed him. I wish I was able to have saved that game.
They're so focused on
great.
like the scopes.
Yeah, because they do. They get focused on it. And they'll, and then they'll pop out and they'll look around. And I killed the other 2 dudes and I figured they were mic'd up because they were all 3 in the same room. And I was like, oh man, I'm just gonna wait till they tell him. And then he did. He like turned around and I knifed his shins. It was so great.
Oof.
Right? But it was all because they set a claymore too close to the stairs. That's literally why. It's the only reason I knew they were up there. That's because they set it at the bottom of the stairs. They
Bad
suck.
placement. Yeah, bad placement.
Exactly.
I always try to put
Right.
the claymore in the most inaccessible spots possible. So I'll set literally set against the wall so that if there's a corridor, they'll go from corridor side to corridor side rather than straight down. Because they usually don't check the sides of the walls; they'll just run straight in.
See, what was like really dope when Black Ops, when like the first Black Ops first came out, and they had the same bug when Black Ops 2 came out, like in the early days, when and it was like for the first year the game was out, you could jump and like dive, and when you did, if you hit the button to set your claymore, if you like dove into the wall, it would set it in the middle of the wall.
Nice.
And literally, yeah, like so it would like set this claymore in the middle of a wall, and nobody expects a claymore to be there. Like, so you'll just walk right past it and it'll blow you.
Huh?
So it like basically
Where'd that
hits
come
you
from?
in the back. Yeah. And like what? Like so like they'll check the base of the stairs there and then like move through and then get hit with a claymore from behind for no reason.
That's hilarious, man.
It was hard to do, but eventually they did a patch and got rid of it, which was kind of lame.
And see,
Honestly,
you can get the claymores, and they have these things called drone holes. Because like the beginning of the round, you drone out, as recon, and then that's the like advantage of the attacking team. So sometimes
Right.
you can go into the drone hole, and it's in the spot where a lot of people camp, and then you just set
Right.
a claymore like towards it, and they'll trigger it, and you'll get a free kill.
It's pretty awesome. I saw a thing in Siege where they would go through basically like the round started and everybody ran to like spawn points and set claymores at spawn points. and then ran in and tried to do the mission. So basically, if they like, like if they killed anyone when it reset, they would like kill people at the spawn points. And it was
that in
really
the beginning?
yeah.
Was that like season 1 or something?
It was like I don't know. It was in the beta because they had a game. They were gonna do a game mode where you had like respawns.
Oh, okay.
Basically, so like when they respawned, like you would go. They had like 20. Essentially, like your whole team could die a series of 20 times, and then they would they come back and they die again at the spawn point. So it was just a way. It was just a way to tank out more.
That happens
points,
to me.
right?
That happens a lot in Modern Warfare and like Call of Duty like games.
Yeah.
Where the guys just they just camp out the spawn spots.
Yeah. And honestly, like, it's a good tactic. But seriously, if you do it, your mom's a hoe. Yeah.
We used to do that in like World of Warcraft. We were playing alternately. So we're part of so it's like a group of players that can queue together. You can't do that anymore, but we did it. They
bad old days.
They got rid of it because we were doing a lot of premates. Like I was running premates like part of group like almost every day.
So did you play Alliance or Horde?
I played Alliance. I was a
lame.
Yeah, a lot of people
Super
say
lame.
that. Well, we would Alterac Valley. We would like do what they call a cave stomp. So
yeah.
We had a strategy where we allowed them to take over the graveyards where they spawn.
Right.
And then we'll control it, and then we'll finally, capture the graveyards, in a sequential manner that everyone goes to the, spawns in the cave, and we just AOE them down until they run out.
I think like one of my favorite things to do in World of Warcraft, honestly, was just go and get like a group of dudes together and then just run into like starting level places, like like level 1. I think my favorite one to do was like the Night Elf areas.
Yeah.
And just kill all of them in there. And don't get me wrong, like it's a terrible thing to do because if those are legitimately new players,
Right.
it's like that's beat up. It's like you're kind of ruining their first experience, but we all know that most of them aren't. So
they're probably
you just
Chinese farmers.
Yeah, like so you just go down there and you kill all the people who issue their quests. You kill all the innkeepers and stuff like that, and just like kill everybody. And me and my buddy, he did that, and he stayed there. Well, he stayed in the beginning Night Elf area for like 4 hours or something, and they ended up getting a GM to come kill him.
Oh, that's serious.
And then later the guy like sent him a message and was like, look, man, he was like, I get it. It's funny to go down there and do it. He was like, man, you can't camp those areas out. He was like, man, we got new players and stuff like that. He was like, don't ruin the game. And the guy was like, oh, okay. So yeah, like he stayed there, but he stayed there for like 4 hours and just killed these newbies.
I remember when the Lich King first came out, the Wrath of the Lich King expansion. Like I would camp in Outland, and since I'm a new Death Knight was a new class. It starts off at level 60. We would create new DK characters, and then even with like the worst starter gear, you're still able to kill the level 55s and level 56s. Below 60, and we do that for hours.
Yeah.
It was, and there's a
Oh man, and it was seriously like it's kind of beat up.
Yeah. DPS there was like it's more like gear specific versus like weapon specific and like FPS games, which is what I like about FPS games because you don't have to grind so long.
Oh yeah, there was even a DPS class in War Thunder. You could get some of the higher end anti-aircraft ones, especially on the German ones. They had 37mm autocannons, which was like the fastest firing small tank gun you could get, and you could just wreck much larger tanks with this anti-aircraft battery, and it would just, instead of compared to bam, bam,
Reload.
bam, 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 bam. You can just spam the hell out of someone, especially if you use the armor-piercing rounds.
So like
like the
super high fire rate kind of deal.
super high fire rate, even with some of the 20 millimeter 4-barreled Ostwind, Wirbelwind. There's an alarm going off somewhere. With the anti-aircraft,
Sorry
you
about
could literally shave people down. Keep the conversation going. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you know, like
Yeah,
I like,
sure.
I like, you know, I like things like that. Like in like Siege, they have super high fire rate
Yeah,
guns like the Scorpion Evo,
right.
and the
And it's
Vector.
funny that they put that in there because that gun was basically like brand new when that game came out.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't get a chance to see like in the U.S. like the automatic versions, but
Yeah,
I guess they have the advantage of seeing like the automatic. I mean, I would not mind a Scorpion Evo. I would love a pistol caliber carbine, maybe SBR it.
They're not
But
mad. The Evo is not bad at all. I actually would prefer that to the MPX.
yeah, I would too.
yeah.
But honestly, I have not played Siege, and I really want to.
Same.
Yeah, because if you really get a chance to, it's a really fun game. And you don't really need like the best like video cards or anything. Just it'll work with like a 960, 950.
Yeah, I will say I was pretty disappointed with Rainbow Six Siege when I first bought it. Reason being, basically, like I played the earlier Rainbow Six games, and they had like a storyline and missions and stuff to go on.
Right.
And I did not realize that this was a purely online based game. Like, and I was honestly like, I was salty. And I was like, man, because I was expecting like some dope storyline and stuff like Rainbow Six Las Vegas.
Yeah, they did have like the Rainbow Six. I played the first one back in like 1997. Crappy graphics.
Yeah.
You had to actually plot out each mission. So you have to plot out the waypoints for each of your teams, and all that.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, yeah, you had to choose entry points and stuff like that, and really.
And then you had like a
really
political intrigue and all that with with like a corrupt senator, helping this terrorist group,
Yeah, like, and it was even like you had to use, it was pretty basic as far as tactics and stuff go. But even like walking through rooms and things like that, you had to be careful because there'd be dudes hiding in corners, and they would, like eat you alive.
One of the reasons why I like SOCOM Combined Assault, you had to make sure that you didn't run out or try to host the place because you would immediately be cut down by like 3 guys.
Yeah.
No body armor.
That's what I loved about the game. It makes you think like angles and corners.
Even in online games with BF2, a lot of people don't think that way because I once got like 3 to 4 down guys and kept them down until they were fully res, and I didn't get any of the kills by setting up an LMG to hose down this one alleyway where they all spawned. They just kept spawning, and no one was expecting this giant hail of bullets because there's just this perfect downward angle into the alleyway.
It's the viable strategy. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I was salty that none of them actually died, and I didn't get any counted kills for it.
Oh, it's kind of lame.
Yeah, let's defibrillate a guy with basically no heart because he's got shot like 6 times in the chest.
Right.
The ones after they get exploded was best.
Yeah.
I'm going to defibrillate you. You should be missing arms and legs, but this will work.
Yeah. The defibrillator solves all your problems.
Right, or band-aids,
I have been killed by those things in BF2 a lot.
Really?
Yes.
Defibrillators?
Yes.
Yeah, if you're like a sniper.
That's hilarious.
Control, like, goes up to you.
The best time I got killed by a defibrillator, my friend Nathan, who Josh and Steven know, I had killed him. and the guy who rezzed him and killed me with the exact same defibrillator strike as the guy had jumped
Oh,
through the air
dude.
with the paddle.
That happened.
Managed to catch me and my friend Nathan. Either I was standing on his corpse or something and managed to fall within the same range that the paddle had that killed me and rezzed him.
That sucks.
That really sucks, man.
How did that happen?
I don't know. I've never encountered that ever again after that because, well, one revive shut down. I know, like, the experienced players didn't switch over to BF2 hub, but that was like a 1 in a million chance.
Are we talking about BF2 or Battlefield 3?
I want to get into that again, or actually get into that.
Yeah, like, yeah, weird stuff like that happens. Like, and I'm just trying to think. Like, I ended up getting I was playing. I don't know if you guys ever played like gun game in the Call of Duties, but it was fun. Like every time you got a kill, you switched to a different gun.
They have
And
that
the last
pistol,
one
right?
would be
They do have that pistol, right?
yeah.
Amazing.
Like, and usually the last one is like some sort of hand weapon, like either like you have to punch or a knife, like a ballistic knife or something like that. And basically it was like, yeah, so every time you got a kill, it switched weapons, and the last kill in my game was on me, and I was like the second one in the league, and I was about to get it, and when I went to go shoot, like you can see me shooting my crossbow at the other guy and getting the knife, some dude just randomly shot the ballistic knife into the air and hit me right in the head. Like it was like over a car, and I think he was just like, oh, he's in this general direction, and just shot it, got the kill, and like, man,
I
had some,
love
like,
that
stuff
thing.
that pisses you off.
The flick, the flick shots
Yeah,
where you like a flick, to the general direction, and then there's the head, and then you get a kill. I love that.
yeah.
I've done something similar to that when I was playing against some of my friends in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. They were showing up on the little radar because they're hosing the place at each other. And so I just angled my grenade launcher just to skim over the burning car, and apparently went right behind his cover and took him out. I didn't even see he was there.
Ah, lovely. The surprise kills.
My friend Ben, who you guys probably know, looks over at me, is like, "Did you know he was there?" I was like, "I kind of guessed." This is just after, because I was actually kind of young at the time. Ben says to me, "Yes, Grasshopper, I will teach you the way of the grenade launcher." It's like I get a random kill off of a blind shot in the dark.
Like, honestly, like, I just have to ask, am I the only person who wants a game where cars aren't cover?
You might want to find that in Tarkov. Escape from Tarkov might have that. I don't know.
No,
You said cars are or are not cover.
are not
not.
cover. Cars are like always cover in video games.
Yeah, it's
And
kind of
stuff, right?
stupid. It's kinda
Yeah,
stupid.
like it's cover that just eventually blows up. But like, man,
In reality, it just goes through like hot knife
Yeah,
and butter.
yeah, it just like goes through it and then throws shrapnel in your face.
Yep. Cuts arteries, cuts flesh.
Exactly, like
Just
you're
like
gonna be hoping you
AR-500
carry in a
armor.
med kit.
Just like AR-500 armor. Getting shot in the chest with a bare AR-500 armor. All that shrapnel's gonna go to your neck and kill you.
Yeah. Well, on the other hand, if you're wearing like ceramic plates and you get shot in the chest with a Barrett, you're still gonna die.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Hit
true.
your chest. It's like whether or not you want your chest filled with ceramic or whether or not you want it filled with steel. It's just
But I think they're
Not with
discovering
Barrett,
like
all right?
like,
What's up?
I was going to say, you're getting shot with a ferret. Come on, there's not really a whole lot of dying
Yeah,
from
it's
that.
actually not meant for people. It's meant for like material, like vehicles.
Yeah.
So,
The bastards.
The original intent of the design of the ferret was actually supposed to be anti-material. Like during the 80s, a lot of the Russian armor, like the BMP, if I remember correctly, the BMP was only an inch thick at the time. And the ferret was made to really kind of not really penetrate something like a BMP, but just like light armor, technicals, things like that.
right.
I'm totally wrong about the BMP part.
But like
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. And I don't know if they'll ever get to a point where like personal armor would be able to stop something like that just because of physics. But they actually developed a new spider silk, and they're feeding spiders like carbon nanotubes or like graphene type.
I'm sorry, when did I wake up in Spider-Man?
I was probably saying the same thing.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah, I have heard about this though.
Yeah, they're feeding graphene. It's the strongest like material known to man at this point, like created like artificially.
Yeah.
So graphene to spiders, and they find that like it's exponentially stronger their silk. So if we can find a way to like mass produce that,
yeah, just need a lot of spiders.
yeah, they actually maybe have a solution to that. They have they use like CRISPR, like genetic like editing to edit goat's milk to produce spider proteins, which they can then turn into like extract the protein from the milk, and they can actually spin it, like using artificial spinnerets. Yeah, it's pretty amazing, like what they're doing now.
That's kind of crazy.
Like sometimes stuff like this makes me think like maybe I will eventually get to fight on Mars.
Well, you do know that the U.S. military is actually having a space corps. You know that, right? It's supposed to be under the Air Force or something like that.
Oh yeah, the NASA, not the NASA, the equivalent of the NASA Space Forces, or something along those lines.
It's basically kind of like a Space Marines from Warhammer.
Yes.
Oh, Warhammer! I got my nickname from that. Spam all the Warhammer memes. Get called Warhammer for being extremely nerdy.
Oh, all the Warhammer memes with your heresy.
So, fun fact, Steven, the HLX that you have,
Yeah.
it's actually brighter than Space Marine like lighting, like armor lighting.
Really? So I have more lumens than Space Marines do?
Yes, you do. And
I thought there was something that had to do with their eyes. They did something to their eyes for some reason. That made
they have like ocular implants, yeah.
Get on my level.
I think my favorite augment that they had was the ability to spit acid.
Yes, they can do that, and they can also like if they were like spaced, like thrown out of an airlock into like vacuum space, they're actually develop like a according to lore, like develop like some polymer substance on their skin, and it'll basically cocoon them and put them in stasis, and they can be revived again.
The only thing that I thought was like really kind of more of a problem than a benefit was that through the modification, their ribs actually grew together and became a solid bonal plate.
But like, I don't know. That seems like that wouldn't be very conductive to moving.
Yeah,
because you do. Oh, okay, well, like
they're like 9 foot, like solid, like muscle.
9 to 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
So how do they do needle decompressions?
They literally have a small chainsaw on the
Apothecaries.
apothecary's arm. And they just kind of saw in.
Oh, it's sick. And
Most
which
of the
means
time
to
they-
open you up here.
Well, it's armor plating over a layer over their flesh, and then they have a large bony pectoral girdle underneath that. Then it's their soft stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then they have like, don't they have like 2 hearts or something like that, and then or an extra like organ that helps with the heart.
Something like that.
Yeah, I spent like hours one time like reading lore. I just like
That's
lore,
what I used
you
to
know?
do before I had high-speed internet. I would just go to the wiki and I would just read through the 200-page articles that they had on there. And it's like, oh, I know
It's so
too much.
interesting, you know? It's so interesting.
It is. The Grimdark is my favorite because it's more realistic of people trying to conquer other things and then remove everything.
Right. It's more, you know, it's like that and like do you guys like reading like backstory on like, you know, Guild Wars and like World of Warcraft and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I have not.
That's why I got so into. That's why I got so into like Dragon Age and stuff.
Yeah.
That's
I
because
still
there's
have
like
to read
so
that.
much lore.
I still had to read like the Dragon Age lore and all that because I didn't know anything
It was
about
awesome.
like Elder Scrolls before, like Daggerfall or not Daggerfall.
What's up? So you got in pretty early then, like.
No, like no, I got in like way after that. Like it's not Daggerfall. It's the
Morrowind.
Morrowind. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my introduction too. I still haven't played Daggerfall.
I want to like really play it, and you know their lore is just amazing. And The Witcher.
It
The
is.
Witcher was my favorite out of all of them.
You know, I've only played the third Witcher game.
Yeah, but you don't really need to like play the first 2 to really get what's going on.
Yeah, like you understand what's going on, but like, you know, like there's some references and stuff that you just not able to pick up. And I want to break that guy's leg the first time too, because
Yeah,
I broke
actually,
it the second time.
I broke that guy's leg. But the first time is actually the better like outcome.
Yeah.
Where you just like negotiate. That's a better outcome, I think. Isn't it? Or does it matter?
Yeah, I don't know, like, cause wait, try and chase that person down, and he gets in your way. So like, I just took him down, and then if you do the whatever the angry one is, he ends it by like snapping his leg, and honestly, that was so satisfying.
Yeah. Fucking Dijkstra.
So I think that's a better outcome for me.
Dijkstra. That
Yeah.
pig face bastard.
Right? Oh, dude, that guy sucks.
Yeah.
Well,
But
since
he
we
was
went
like
from War Thunder. We went from War Thunder to Warhammer to Witcher. I think we pretty much wrapped up our DPS discussion. And so I'm going to bid you all adieu. We'll catch you next time. Hopefully we'll have Four Names, Josh, and Kenzie back to talk about the new Star Wars movie
Yes.
and the various things wrong with it.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely going to be in there for that one.
Oh, you're going to bow out? Or you want to be there?
Oh, no. I'm going to be here. Because I got some gripes with that new one.
Yes.
Okay.
One more
All right.
for the
Josh knows how much I hate that movie.
Oh, dude, that movie got me so salty.
Me too.
Just the salt,
y'all-
like, man,
Super salt.
Y'all can keep
Salt.
stewing your salts today and be all nice and jerkified by the next time, because we'll catch you next time after cool music plays and lights go down.